Good afternoon, everybody. Sorry about the little delay. I think we just had a little time confusion. For some reason, I said 1:15, but I think I also told 1:30. I'm Officer Kevin Grimes with the Nicholasville Police Department. And I would like to thank you guys for coming out today for this occasion. Their graduation is always fun. We spend the whole year with your kids, and it's a great time. But of course, I get to stand up here and talk about all the wonderful things I got to do, but you're not really here to see me, I know. So, having said that, let's bring in our graduates. Come on in, guys. Thank you, everyone. If everyone would please stand while we say our pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Again, welcome. I'm Officer Kevin Grimes with the Nicholasville Police Department, and today we're going to go through our day recognition program. But first, before I do that, I'd like to introduce some of our special guests that are up here on stage who've taken the time out of their schedules as well. Just showing up, I see Mrs. Fields. Thank you. Just kidding. Starting with to my right and your left, I have Representative Russ Meyer. Police Commissioner Betty Black. Chief of Police Mary Walbrough. Our Superintendent of Schools, Mrs. Fields. And your Assistant Principal, Mr. White. And to my left and your right, we have 5th grade teacher, Ms. Hayden. 5th grade teacher, Ms. Hall. 5th grade teacher, Ms. Sexton. Mr. Abbott's also a 5th grade teacher. What's Mr. Fanning and then Mr. Abbott? Sorry about that. Got that over. Mrs. Fields, would you like to say a few words?
Good afternoon, everyone. We certainly want to welcome all of our students, our special guest, Representative Russ Meyer, Commissioner Black, Red Oak Elementary School staff, members of the Nicholasville Police Department. Again, thank you for coming to the 2015 DARE ceremony. I look forward to this event every year because it's our chance to stop for a moment, congratulate our 5th grade students who participate so enthusiastically each year in the DARE program. It's also a very special time because it's our chance to say thank you to Chief Barry Waldrop, Sergeant Scott Harvey, Officer Kevin Grimes, and all of the other folks at the Nicholasville Police Department for all they do for the children and families of Jessamine County. Please join me in a round of applause for the Nicholasville Police Department. The ways the Jessamine County Schools and the Nicholasville Police Department work together on behalf of children and families of this county. The law enforcement officers who are here today represent their fraternity well, and each one of them has proven his deep and divided commitment to Jessamine County and to our children. Whether they are directing traffic, serving in our middle schools and high schools as school resource officers, or joining us in meetings to find ways to make our schools safe, the Nicholasville Police Department is always there for us, and we value their partnership. Now, boys and girls, a few words to you. First, congratulations on this very important accomplishment. You've worked through many DARE lessons, and I know that you have learned the tools that you will need to resist offers to take or sell drugs of any type in the future. It would be my hope that you might never be faced with a compromising situation where you are offered drugs. Unfortunately, though, this is perhaps an unrealistic notion. Many, if not all of you, will find yourselves in just that situation. So my more realistic hope for each of you is that you will never forget the lessons that you've learned in DARE, and that you will never be involved in illegal drugs of any kind. Secondly, I urge you to share the lessons that you've learned in DARE with others. You are growing up in a world now where positive examples are more important than ever. Many times a kind, encouraging word to someone who appears friendless or a firm no thank you when asked to drink or to take drugs at a party is all it takes to make a personal impact on violence, drugs, and alcohol. Be a positive role model and encourage your peers to make good life choices as well. Know that you have a powerful influence and that you can make a difference in your home, your community, and in our world. Don't be afraid to stand up for what you believe. Others will rise to stand beside of you. Students, before long, you'll be ready for another graduation. High school graduation. Parents, it will seem like no time at all before it's here. So now between then and now, fifth graders, be strong in your resistance to drugs and do all you can to support and encourage one another. On behalf of the Jessamine County Board of Education, congratulations and best wishes.
Thank you, Superintendent. I know you've got a whole lot going on, so we appreciate you coming out here tonight. Mr. White, would you like to say a few words?
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you guys so much for being here. I know it's the middle of the day, but obviously your commitment to being here is more than just a few moments. You obviously care about your children. You know, when I was growing up and I'm about to turn 40 in the next couple of months, reading, writing, arithmetic, that's all we talked about. You know, as we talked about school, if you're in my generation, or at least. And I'm so glad to know that we don't just deal with reading, writing, and arithmetic. When I was teaching in a classroom, boys and girls, the thing I used to always tell my kids when I would teach them, I don't care, I was a band teacher, I don't care if you can play the trumpet better than anybody else. If you can play an instrument, great, but you go out and rob a bank, or you go out and become a criminal, or you go out and compromise yourself by making bad choices with drugs, alcohol, that kind of stuff, I failed. And I'm so thankful, parents, I know you probably share my sentiment. I am so thankful that our schools are reading, writing, and arithmetic. But we also deal with all of those things. We're raising your children to be the best version of themselves that they can possibly be. We're teaching them those things, like how to avoid situations that may compromise their lives, not just for today or for tomorrow, but forever. And so for that reason, I am beyond thankful for the officers you see behind me here, for the teachers who support by giving their academic time, their instructional time, and for you guys to support such a program. Again, if my kid can read the highest level of book on the planet, but puts himself in this most important situation of compromise, we have failed. And so I'm so thankful that DARE exists, and for that, I'm so proud for you kids to be here and have gone through the program and are certified as DARE graduates. So with that, thank you guys. Have a good ceremony and a good afternoon and a great rest of the 5th grade year.
Next on the program is Mayor Pete Sutherland. He does wish to send you guys his congratulations. He was unable to attend today, but we do have a stand-in, as you want to call him that. We have State Representative Russ Meyer here, who was also a former mayor here in Nicholasville, and he would love to talk to you guys. So, excuse me.
Thank you very much, Kevin. And this is a great day. when their graduation time of year comes around, we all know we're getting out of school soon, but we're here to celebrate what you guys have done and committed to over the last year. We're extremely proud of each and every one of you, so we're here to celebrate that. But I want to thank Mr. White, Ms. McNeil, the entire staff here at Red Oak for partnering with the city of Nicholasville. What you all have done out here is amazing. This school is a huge asset to our community. Ms. Fields, what we do at the school board and just the leadership there has just been amazing. And you know, our schools and our school system are an envy of many communities around us. And we're just proud of that, proud to be a part of that with you all, and want to congratulate you all for what you do. Want to thank Barry Waldrop, Chief Barry Waldrop, our Nicholasville Police Department, Kevin Grimes, Officer Jones, Scott Harvey, everyone involved with this DARE program. They're very passionate about this program. They love it and they live it, and it's for one reason. It's for all these ladies and gentlemen sitting out in front of me. So if we could, let's give these guys back here a big round of applause. Thank you all. Also want to thank and recognize Ms. Betty Black. She is the Public Safety Commissioner with the Nicholasville City Commission, and I want to thank her and everyone on the City Commission. I know Betty is very passionate about public safety in our community. She does a great job. She stands up and she's there. So thank you and all your fellow commissioners and the mayor for supporting this program. It's just of the utmost importance of what you all are getting ready to take on when you go to middle school and high school, the challenges that you're going to encounter. They're coming, they're there, and parents, thank you all for being here and being a part of this. Don't back up, keep moving forward with these guys, staying with them, and don't be afraid to utilize these guys back here. Officer Grimes is a great man. He's your friend, and he will always be your friend, and don't hesitate to call him about anything, anytime, anywhere. So thank you all for allowing me to be here with you today. I'm just proud to be a part of this and proud of what you're doing. So thank you.
Next, we have the Chief of Police, Barry Waldrop.
Now, I know y'all are sitting out there getting prepared for the big question. Isn't that right? Yes. All right. But before we get there, let's realize one important thing. The word's very simple to spell, but when you use this word, and you're going to have to use it many times, especially when you go through middle school, high school, and then out into the world, to college, to find a job, whatever. You're going to have to use this word. You're going to have temptations. You're going to have peer pressure. And when you use it, you have to use it in such a fashion that you leave no doubt in people's mind when you walk off that person means business. They're not going to make bad choices. They're not going to make bad decisions. They're going to say it in such a manner that they will leave you alone. Now, if somebody approaches you and asks you to do drugs, what do you say? No! I can't hear you. No! All right, let's give them a hand. Good job. I would give anything to be able to say that when these kids graduate DARE, we never have to worry about them doing drugs. Wouldn't that be great? I can tell you this much. Sometimes we don't realize this. The longest fought war in the history of the United States is the war on drugs. And we all need to realize this today. The battle begins today, and the war on drugs will continue. I am so proud of these graduates. They have worked hard, and through the last 6 months, and they don't know it yet, but their hard work will pay off. They learned a lot. They learned that most kids don't use drugs. They learned about the damage drugs does to your body. They learned how to say no. They learned how dangerous medicines can be if misused. They learned about how to deal with bullying. They learned how to make good decisions in any situation. And most importantly, they made friends with their dare officer. The police are not the boogeyman. A lot of children have been threatened with the police since a young age. Dare goes a long way to combat the boogeyman image. These kids have realized through Dare that we are the good guys. But the good guys sometimes have to arrest people. Since 2006, we have arrested over 700 drug dealers in this community. We will continue to arrest those who need arrested. But we know we can't arrest our way out of the drug problem in this country. DARE is our best long-term solution. It is the #1 drug prevention program in the world. It is taught in all 50 states and over 60 countries around the world. Your child has the tools he or she needs to resist drugs. Parents, it's up to you to make sure they do it. As they go into middle school, rules are a good thing. Curfews are a good thing. Expectations are a good thing. Clear household rules about drug use are necessary. Kids who get these things from their parents don't have negative experiences with the police. DARE has pointed your kid on the right road. Please install guardrails for them. Graduates, you are our future, and we are excited about that. And on behalf of the Nicholasville Police Department, we congratulate you. One last thing here. Today, you will get this certificate. I encourage you to get a frame and put this certificate in that frame and put it in a place where you see it every single day. You look at this certificate. Now, this is the reason why. Let me read it to you. Certificate of Achievement. May it be known that, and your child's name will be on here, has completed the curriculum in drug abuse resistance education and has made a personal commitment to avoid the pressures to begin using drugs. Each and every one of you sitting there are making a personal commitment today. This is going to be your certificate. This is your guarantee that you did do it. You made that personal commitment to never do drugs. Put it in a place. Refer back to it. I made that commitment. I got to stick to it for the rest of my life. Thank you all.
Thanks, Chief. Commissioner White.
First of all, I'd like to thank you to Mrs. Fields, the staff, for allowing us to be here. I'd like to say thank you for the parents and grandparents and family members for taking time out of your day to be here and supporting these young people. Young people, you've got your dreams ahead of you. Follow your heart. Always say no to drugs. Never have a mark on your record, because once you get a mark on your record for drugs, anything of that sort, you're almost hurt for life. You can never do what you want once you get involved with drugs. Stay off the drugs, follow your heart again, and always obey your parents. Thank you.
At the end of DARE, one of the things that the kids are asked, well, they're going to tell you they were made to do. They were asked to do is write a DARE essay. And this was basically my way of seeing how well they did and what they listened, or if they didn't listen to me fast. And so all the kids had to write an essay, and then they had to read it in class, and their fellow students then they picked the winners for their classes. So if you're a first, second, or third place winner for a Dare Essay, please stand. Let's give them a hand. First place, come on. Some of them are going to be a little nervous, so we'll try to get through that, okay?
Looks like Carmen's going first because
Do you smoke, drink, or chew tobacco? If you do, you are putting yourself at risk. My purpose of this speech is to try to get people to quit smoking, drinking, and chewing tobacco. Hi, my name is Carmen Brown. My homeroom teacher is Mrs. Emily Hayden. My DARE officer is Officer Kay Gregg, and he has taught me a lot about what to do and what not to do when it comes to drugs, cigarettes, tobacco, and alcohol. Today, I'm going to share with you what to do in a tobacco use, drug use, and people offering you cigarettes. Also, what happens to you if you smoke, chew tobacco, or overdose. What I have learned in DARE class this year is that alcohol slows down the brain and body. Some side effects that may occur is loss of coordination, poor judgment, loss of self-control, and slow reflexes. Some things people didn't know about alcohol is it weakens the heart muscle, reduces the amount of blood that is pumped to and from the heart. Too much alcohol can slow down the body and lead to coma and death. Also, did you know that alcohol goes directly into the bloodstream and damages every organ of your body? Lastly, I'm going to tell you about alcohol. Is mixing alcohol with medicines are extremely dangerous. Smoking. Did you know in the United States it's illegal to sell tobacco products to anyone under the age of 18, 19 in some states. Also, did you know there are more than 200 known harmful cigarettes, 200 known harmful chemicals in cigarettes? Secondhand smoke is very harmful in this case. Did you know more than 400,000 Americans die from tobacco-related causes each year? Almost 50,000 deaths per year can be attributed to secondhand smoke. Also, health effects of tobacco use. Nicotine in chewing tobacco reduces the amount of blood that flows to the brain. This can interfere with how the brain works. Drugs. With drugs, I'm not going to talk about much because I lost my uncle and his name was James. I lost my uncle because he did drugs every morning. He did drugs every day, and I lost him from the drug called heroin. My uncle did that every morning and night until he passed. So my advice to you is to not do drugs. What to do when someone offers you cigarettes, alcohol, or a drug. When someone offers you a cigarette or alcohol or even drugs, walk away. You can tell an adult, you can even change the subject too. My dream is to become a pediatrician or a teacher. And I'm going to accomplish this dream by not smoking, not chewing tobacco, and by not doing drugs. And also by doing good in school. My second dream is to end smoking, but I know that probably won't happen, but it's still a dream. My advice to you and others is to listen to what your heart tells you, not your mind. My purpose of this essay was to try to get people to quit smoking, drinking, and chewing tobacco. How I feel about DARE. I love DARE, and I think you will too, just to give DARE a try when you're a victor. Thank you.
You're writing with the wrong hand. I'm left-handed, and that is what Officer Grimes always says. I'm here to talk to you about DARE and the benefits of it. I'm Maya Long, and I'm in Miss Hall's DARE. In DARE, we learn how to be healthy and the benefits of it. We also learn to not smoke and not do drugs. My favorite lesson was bowling, because I have been bowling. We also use words like confidence, stress, peer pressure, risk, drug, and responsibility. That is what I do in DARE. I think DARE is important because it teaches us to make good decisions when we are older. Like not smoking or doing drugs. Now I can make responsible decisions. When I'm older, I want to be a professional ballerina. I would not be able to do that if I smoked or did drugs. I will never ever take drugs for this purpose. I want to be a ballerina more than anything, and I will never take drugs. My advice to others is to never do drugs and just say no, and never ever bully anyone, no matter what. If you get a chance to take DARE, it is really fun, and you will enjoy it. I'm writing to you about DARE and the benefits of it. I really like DARE, and Officer Grimes is really fun. I like DARE, and you will too.
Did you know that there are 75,000 alcohol-related deaths each year, or that there are more than 200 known harmful chemicals in cigarettes? My name is Shelby, and I am here to tell you about cigarettes, tobacco, alcohol, and other things. I am in Mr. Abbott's class, and my DARE teacher is Officer Grimes. He has taught us about saying no to drugs and how bad it is to be for your health. I will also teach you about these things in the paragraphs below. There are many things that I have learned from DARE. First of all, I have learned that drugs are very bad. I have learned that smoking can cause lung cancer, wrinkles, or yellow teeth, and bad breath. Smoking can even cause more colds and respiratory problems. Most things that I have learned in DARE this year are that drugs can cause harmful problems. The importance of making wise and responsible decisions in your life is very big. Making bad decisions with drugs is a big deal, especially for kids. If kids do drugs, it affects them more severely than adults. This affects them more severely because they are still growing, so that can mess up how they grow and hormone. Once you start to do drugs, it is harder to stop. Remember that just because it harms kids more doesn't mean that you should grow up to use drugs. This begins my next topic, dreams. If you have big goals and dreams like most boys and some girls, then doing drugs will not help you get there. If you want to be famous and play a sport or be a singer or dancer, drugs will just slow you down. If you want to play a sport, then don't do drugs because they can slow down the body or reduce blood flow. If you want to play a sport, it will affect the way you play. Kind of like dance, it will mess up how you do it. If you want to sing, drugs can mess up your voice. If you have big goals and dreams in life, that is a big reason why you should not use drugs. My advice to you is simple: don't do drugs. It is even very simple to do if something offers drugs. Just say it. Once you start, they take control. Drugs can have negative effects. They can even get as bad as death. The best advice is to refuse, give a fact, or another way to get out of something. In conclusion, say no to drugs. There are also very many effects to do with drugs. Also, if you want a big career or have big dreams, drugs are not the thing for you. The importance of making wise and responsible decisions in your life is very big. Finally, take my advice and know that drugs could change your life. DARE can change this life. Have you ever met the best DARE officer? Well, I have. He's nice and fun. I'm writing these speeches so you can do things and some you never want to do, and some that you do. My name is Elijah Lee, and I'm Mr. Valentine. Officer Grimes is my DARE leader. What I learned in DARE was that D in DARE stands for define, A is assess, and R is respond, and E is evaluate, which helps me make the right decisions in tough situations that involve drugs or smoking and drinking. I also learned about bullies and what to do if you see a bully. There are many different types of bullies. There are cyber bullies who say things on social networks or in text messages. Social bullies, they call you names in person face, which is kind of embarrassing, and a physical bully who pushes and hits you all the time, every day. The importance of making wise decisions in your life is here. For example, if you start smoking, you will have a bad heart. Smoking tobacco can cause less blood flow in your brain. It makes your teeth yellow and cause bad breath. It can also dry skin and burn. So if I were you, I would smoke tobacco products. Tobacco products affect you too. When I grow up, I want to be a cheer coach or work at my restaurant if she wants me. I want to be a teacher also. I think if I get into a good college, maybe it will all work out and I'll get to pursue my dreams of becoming or doing one of those jobs. My advice to you is don't start drinking alcohol every night, but if you drink it responsibly, then that's okay. Not every night or day, because there are 75,000 alcohol-related deaths each year. Oh, and don't mix alcohol with medicine. Now that could get you killed. It is very dangerous. Alcohol affects your brain. Alcohol also weakens the heart muscles and reduces the blood flow. Now, if you drink too much alcohol, as I was saying, drinking too much alcohol could lead to a coma or death. In conclusion, I told you some of the things I learned in here, and some things that are good. Don't start doing drugs or smoking. Don't become an alcoholic. You could die. I really like Dick. Officer Grimes helped me learn many helpful things that will come in handy when I get older.
That was 4 of about 100 that I listened to, so I'm glad I don't have to be the judge, because I think they're all winners, and they all did a great job, and their students in their classes picked great representatives for them as well. Parents, if you get the opportunity to ask your kids about their dare essay that they wrote, see if they can tell you about it and what all the things that were there. It would not be a tradition of a dare graduation without one of our favorite friends. So I would like to introduce right now our mascot, Darren the Dare Lion. Come on out, Darren. Students, it's now time for you guys to receive your certificates. Special guests, if you guys would line up right now in front of me to my right. Mr. Adam, would you like to start?
Desmond Eric. Robbie Cole. Jacob Ross. Destiny Young. Aiden Hagan. Maria Halliburton. Ashton Anderson. Kennedy Hayden. Harley Humphrey. Tristan Miller. Caitlin Woodward. Ken Miles. Alexia Daniel Terrazas. John Wills. Shelby Wills.
Will our class please stand?
Natasha Bell.
Adriana Burke.
Tayshawn Coleman.
Brianna Crank.
Devin Downs.
Cadence Dunaway.
Justin Farrell.
Gary Graham.
James Hatter.
Tyler Hans.
Talijah Lee.
Landon Leonard.
Nakaya Mason.
Molly Maxton.
Elizabeth McGrant.
Isla Taylor.
Julia Reynolds.
Rich Rutledge.
Dominic Shelton.
Mason South.
Jeffrey Smith.
Jenna Starner.
Elijah Taylor.
Haley Wesley.
Logan Williams.
My colleagues over here to my left teased me for being a speech maker. I'm just going to follow close and say, I told my homeroomers this morning, and I said this to all of you. This is one of my favorite things we do. And if there's only one thing you can take with you from 5th grade, let it be this. If there's only one thing you can take, if there's only one thing you can remember, let it be what you learned in their class. It doesn't even have to be math. Let it be what you learned in their class. Okay? All right, my class, please stand. Caleb Akers. Hannah Anderson. Jackson Bates. Alyssa Brown. Ty Cottle. Mia De La Rosa. Kylie Early Wine Whitaker. My birthday boy here, Joseph Geller. Hagen Garrison.
Austin Lupu. Sophia Mormon. Anastasia No. Kaylin Ragland. John Ross. Noah Sullivan. Caden Stanley. Blake Stennett. Daniel Valentine. And Shay Wilson.
Will my class please stand? Aiden Adams. Farrah Alcolt. Brenna Barkley. Jerry Lynn Brooks. Carmen Brown. Logan Corson. Emma Hale. Ethan Harrison. Bryson Hubbard. Parker Jeffries. Riley Johnson. Ryan Johnson. Colin Cleary. Gavin Benshouse. John Patrick Patterson. Kennedy Reverse. Day Robertson. Will Sanchez. Blake Shelton. Carly Terrell. Birthday girl Miss Tinkham Wages. And Mr. Patrick White.
Parents, if you'll notice when the kids were up here walking across the stage, they had to abide by one of my rules. If you'll notice, their shirts were tucked in or tied up. Some of them thought that they were going to die by doing that, so I assured them that only one kid had had cardiac arrest from that, and he still survived, so it's okay. Fifth graders, thank you. I appreciate that. You look very good today. Now, my last closing to you guys. Thank you for a wonderful year. Keep the things that you learned and we talked about in class in your mind and in your hearts. Use those things and always remember that I'm just a message away. What's that social media thing y'all got? Face Google or Twister or whatever you call that stuff. Just send me a message, come to the police station. I'm in the middle schools quite frequently, so if you have problems, I kid you not, I'm there for you to assist in any way. And so are all the other officers with the Nicholasville Police Department who work in our school. So again, fifth grade, thank you. You were awesome this year. Staff, thank you for keeping me again and letting me come into your school. It is an honor to be a Red Oak and to have been here from the beginning. So again, thanks. Appreciate it. Mr. White, would you like to dismiss?
One final thing, boys and girls, hold a piece of paper that you just got in your hand, your certificate. Here's the sad truth. That piece of paper means zero, zippity-doo-dah. It means you sat in class and listened to Officer Grimes and were compliant, right? The certificate only means something if it's backed up by a commitment you make today, you make tomorrow, you make when 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade come along and things get tough, high school when things get really tough, when college comes and things get tough and you have freedom, right? The piece of paper you have means nothing unless you back it up with conviction and commitment, okay? I'll say that I was actually in the NARE program, gosh, 30 years ago in Scott County when it was first starting. I remember my officer's name, Officer Leverton. I didn't get a fancy certificate like that. I got a little piece of paper that said you went through the program. I've still got it in a scrapbook. Put it in a frame so you can memorialize this and really remember it. But the piece of paper would have meant nothing had I not backed it up. 39 and a half years old, almost 40, never touched alcohol, never touched drugs, won't ever do it. It was a commitment that I just had that was important to me, and I hope it's important to you guys as well. Okay? So thank you so much to the officers and the city and the community for supporting you guys. All right, with that, I'm going to let you guys dismiss. Parents, let's congratulate our kids one more time. And fifth graders, fair is fair. Your parents, if they're here in the audience, they obviously have a commitment in you. If they're not in the audience, I'm sure they have the same commitment. I know work is work, and so I know that if your families aren't here, I know they want to be, and they certainly are in spirit. So kids, let's thank our families. Let's give them a hand clap for coming today as well. I'll let you guys follow out. Your teachers will come collect you, and you guys will head out and finish your day the right way. Okay? Thank you guys so